and welcome to McCormick Gymnasium on the campus of Shanley High School for a North Dakota High School basketball matchup between the Grand Forks Red River Roughriders and the Shanley Deacons. I'm Braden Altschinger alongside my partner Andy Simon. We will break this game down for you and actually get into the game itself after a message from our Deacon partners.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Beyond Boundaries Therapy Services, Butler Machinery, Ed's Marine, the Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Forum Communications, Haley's Hope, Hurley's Religious Goods, Luther Family Buick GMC, Master Construction, Moore Engineering, Network Center, Northern Improvement, Off the Wall Advertising, Robert Gibb and Sons, Sanford, Shields, Taxman, TCI Insurance, and Wolf Steel Construction.
Welcome back, folks. I'm Braden Altschinger, joined alongside my partner Andy Simon. Andy, it's great to have you here. We got two great teams in the Red River Roughriders and the Shanley Deacons. Both have high hopes this year. Who are kind of your players to watch in this game here tonight?
Well, on the Shanley side, I got to say Riley Payne, she's been a dominant force throughout the whole season, pretty much throughout her whole high school career. She's always somebody you'll see on both sides of the ball really dominating. And one player for the Red River Roughriders is Shelby Frank. She is committed to the University of Minnesota for track and field, so it's good to see a multi-sport athlete, but she's not just great at track and field, she's great at basketball too. She's like Riley Payne, she's dominant on both sides of the ball, and she's able to make plays whenever her team needs it. Absolutely,
both teams have really good players here tonight. As we're finishing starting lineups here down on the floor, we will get those lineups to you. Starting for the Red River Roughriders will be number 5, Ella Fassi, Jasmine Sandro, Claire Leach, Alex Page, and Shelby Frank. Lining up for the Deacons against them will be number 5, Riley Payne, number 4, Lydia Mattern, Olivia Manuel, Liz Dabbert, as well as Mariku Hakim. If the Deacons are going to be successful here tonight, what do they need to do in the first 5 minutes to get them going early in this game?
Well, that's simple. I think they just got to come out strong, put up points, play good defense, and I think they'll be able to lock it down. And I think it's the same for Red River because these are two great teams who are both very fundamentally sound on both sides of the ball. So I think whoever just comes out swinging and whoever comes out with strong defense will be able to win this game.
Absolutely, Andy. We are here. We do have a great game here tonight, folks, so make sure you stay tuned the whole entire game as we will be bringing that to you live on Shanley TV. Now we're just a few seconds away from tip as the coaches are saying their final words, trying to help their team get that fast start that Andy mentioned that will hopefully help them grab some momentum right away. As both teams break out of the huddle here, it looks like number 42, Frank, will line up for Red River, going for that jump ball. Lined up against side Riley Payne. Andy, any final words here before we start the game tonight, or are you just ready to get to basketball?
I'm just ready to get to basketball. I'm excited for this game, too. Powerhouses in the EDC. It'll be a great game.
Couldn't agree more as we are now underway here from McCormick Gymnasium on the campus of Shanley High School, as it looks like the Deacons are going to come away with the opening tip. Pass down low to Dabbert from Payne, goes up, and it looks like it's going to be deflected there by Frank, it looks like, but they are going to turn it over, the Deacons will, to the Red River Roughriders. You know, how important is it for Red River in Shanley's gym, so they are away, how important is it for them to get a fast start and to break the press of Shanley Deacons like they did there?
It's extremely important because, I mean, when you're going into Shanley to play basketball, it's not always that easy with huge support from parents, and it's easy to get behind early. So if you start and get ahead early, it's also easy to kind of get the momentum shift in your direction, especially with their fans, as they've been pretty rowdy so far.
Not only Shanley, but a lot of teams in EDC have good home game attendance, so we'll see how that plays a factor in this game as the Deacons force, or I should say the Red River Roughriders force a turnover for the Deacons, so it will be Rider ball with just a little bit, about 40 seconds into this game here with a 2-0 lead for the Riders. Page bringing it up, gives it over to Fassi. Fassi stopped by Manuel there. It looks like Page is going to pull the three just short there as it hits the front iron. The rebound goes down to Manuel, but they are going to call out of bounds off of Fossey, so it will turn over to Deacons. A big part of the Deacons' success this year has been limiting the turnovers. How important is it to keep those turnovers to a minimum and keep control of the ball?
That's extremely important. From all the basketball games I've called in these last 2 years, one thing that I've always kind of harped on is the turnovers. It's so easy to get behind and get yourself in a huge rut when you start turning the ball over multiple times on multiple runs.
Rebound down to Manuel, goes up for the shot and gets fouled, so she will head to the free throw line for 2 shots. Looks like they're going to get that foul on Shelby Frank, which will be the first of the game, resulting in her first personal foul. Manuel's first attempt from the line is up and clanks off the rim and is no good. Second attempt from Manuel is up, and that one is good. How important is it to make those free throws early and often? We talk about it every game, but how important is that?
Free throws are very important in the game of basketball. Just that 1, maybe 2 extra little points you can get, those are huge, especially with 2 great teams like this. We might have a close game going towards the end of the half or even the game.
Turnover for the Deacons. Fossey with the right-handed layup, not good as Payne gets the outlet pass to Manuel. Goes up for the left-handed layup and is able to convert, giving the Deacons their first lead of the game, putting them up by 1 with 16 minutes and about 30 seconds left in the first half. Tough defense there for the Deacons, as Hakim is able to knock that out of bounds, but it will stay with the Red River Roughriders.
It's kind of interesting to see Shanley change how they're playing a little bit, because they came out, I wouldn't necessarily say flat, but they just didn't have as much energy as they normally do, and you're really kind of starting to see things turn around as they're making good plays on both sides of the ball.
Fossey up top, setting up the offense as Mattern allows her to pick her dribble up. Looks like that's going to be Sandro with the turnover to Mattern. Mattern against Fossey for the 2-point layup is up and good, extending that lead to 3 points. Now we'll see that tough defense from the Deacons as it looks like they're going to play a 3-2 zone. Open shot there, Sandro in the corner. Not able to get it, and Mattern with another rebound as she tries to extend the lead. Nice pass there to Manuel, and Manuel able to get it to go. Sometimes it's those easy layups that the jitters kind of get to you and you almost miss those, but able to convert on that one.
Yeah, like you said, it's easy to get in your head on those, and I think along with this energy that Shanley's kind of starting to gain momentum, it's kind of the jitters are starting to go away a little bit, and they're able to make those plays just because, I mean, the whole team's getting rowdy and we're making good plays.
That timeout was called by Coach Ripplinger of the Red River Roughriders, which will be the first of the game and 30 seconds in length. Why do you think he called that timeout? Do you think he just wanted to settle his team down as they are in the opponent's gym?
I definitely think he just wanted to settle things down there, as Shanley, as we saw, was starting to gain a lot of momentum, and they were starting to make plays, and especially on defense, they got a turnover and then a rebound. So, I mean, you definitely got to call a timeout there just to slow down Shanley's momentum and help your team kind of relax for a little bit.
As we break the timeout huddles here, we'll see if that timeout paid off for the Red River Roughriders. It will be their ball underneath Shanley hoop, as it looks like the Deacons are now going to apply a 1-3-1, 3/4 court, as they say, press. Fossey able to break that press quite easily, passes it to Sandro down in the corner. It looks like that's going to be Leach after. Actually, now Sandro has the ball on the near side. Nice pass inside to Page. Page out to Fossey. Long 2-point shot. Up and no good as it clanks off the rim, and rebound down to Hakim. Stolen pass there by Fossey. Fossey definitely having a presence in this game so far with a couple turnovers and also able to break that press for the Red River Roughriders.
Yeah, she'll be a big part of this team as Red River. They're kind of coming out with some little mistakes here and there, so it's important to have someone who will kind of take charge and make the plays for your team.
Payne now up top, setting up the Deacons offense. Drives middle, kicks to Dabbert on the near side. Dabbert dribbling left side, gets her shot rejected there by number 42, Shelby Frank, as it looks like Leach is going to go right past Mattern and Manuel for the 2-point basket, cutting that lead to 3. And that's exactly what you want there from Coach Ripplinger, getting that stop, getting a basket, and then getting another turnover here on the Deacons. How important was that timeout call and the success after that?
That was huge. I mean, that timeout, it proved to do a lot of damage here as Red River's going on a little bit of a run here, and they just got a turnover there. So it'll be interesting to see if they can keep up this tempo.
See if the Deacons are able to shut down this little run here that the Roughriders have formed, as Sandro's now passing it to Fossey. And the Red River Roughriders just comfortable passing it alongside top of the key here. Sandro with the 3-point attempt is no good. Payne leading the offense for the Deacons, drives left, but gets stopped by a host of Red River Roughriders there. Deflected pass there. Number 22, Alex Page, with a little bit of the authority to her bench as her friends or teammates are laughing on the bench there. Manuel throws it into Dabbert, right back to Manuel. Almost a turnover there. She quite didn't reestablish possession, but they'll say she did. Madden pass to Payne. Payne to Manuel. Open Dabbert in the corner. 3-point shot is good. How important is that to respond to a little bit of run by the Red River Roughriders? Checked in for Manuel. Not sure what's going on here, but the ref has walked over to the scores table to check something out. Hakim Dabbert with a 3-point attempt at the top of the key. Misses almost everything as it hits left of the square of the backboard. Looks like we will not have a foul called on the play, but ball out of bounds off the rider, so it will be Deacons' ball. Hodel bringing the ball up the floor for the Deacons. Gives it back to Payne with a nice quick pass back to Hodel. Dabbert trapped there by Fossey and Page. Gives it over to an open Hodel. And it looks like they are going to call a 3-second violation on Hakeem, as you heard someone from the crowd yell it out. And the official responds with blowing his whistle. Bringing up the ball for the floor is Schiller. And again, we do want to apologize for the technical difficulties we are experiencing. Looks like we are back up and running, but we do again apologize for those difficulties. Red River Roughriders putting a little press on, but Deacons able to break it as a 3-point attempt will come from Dabbert, and again does not hit much as a block attempt from Azure there sends it right back into the face of Mattern. Floater from Payne is good. Finally, Deacons are back on the board scoring.
Yeah, they needed that play on offense as they were getting pretty dry in the scoring area.
Sandro down to Fossey. Fossey back up to Schiller, fakes the 3-point attempt. Nice pass to Azure inside. Looks like they are going to get a blocked ball off of Payne, so it will stay with the Riders. Emily Schrema checking back in for the Deacons, taking out Lydia Mattern. So the Deacons going with the double big action. We'll see how that pays off with the tall Page and Azure for the Riders. Payne gets the ball stolen by Schiller, puts up the 2-point attempt, but misses it. But there will be a foul called on the play, which will send Schiller to the line. You know, another thing that I kind of just thought about for the Deacons is they could have a really tall and big lineup if Kelly Chrisman was still here, but unfortunately she transferred over to Davies. And so that's another thing to think about.
Yeah, Shanley, they definitely got more than one tall players on their team, and yeah, with Kelly Chrisman, that could have been a dangerous lineup.
Second attempt from Schiller is up and good. Hakeem throws it into Hodel. Deacons having a little bit of a tough time beating this press of the Riders. You know, you'd think that the Deacons would be able to beat the press having one of their own, but it looks like the Riders are just having a lot of momentum and success in that press here tonight.
Yeah, Shanley, they have been struggling a lot so far in this half on the on the offensive side of the ball, and usually, like we kind of said earlier, they've been able to come out and make plays and kind of find their way to get through defenses, but I mean tonight it just hasn't really clicked for them yet.
And it kind of makes you look back at having their 2 top point guards out of the game again in Kate Busick and Hadley Huber, so we'll see if they're going to be able to figure that out and hopefully beating that press a little bit easier in the second half. First attempt from Azure is no good. Leach back into the game for the Riders. And at the next dead ball, Lancaster will also check in for Azure. Looks like that's going to be an air ball as that that foul was on number 31, Mo Hakim. That is her first of the matchup. So we are going to have a timeout on the floor with about 3:30 left in the first half. And it is going to be a full timeout by the Deacons. And if you're Coach Jacobson of Shanley, what are you telling your team down 7?
I think all you can really be telling your team is that you got to stop making so many mistakes on the offensive side of the ball and just kind of, I don't really know. I'm not a basketball coach, so Otherwise, I might have a better answer. But, I mean, they just need to kind of get a little bit of a run going to maybe get more momentum and kind of figure out how to get through this defense. But, I mean, defensively, they've gotten a lot of turnovers, and they've had a couple key players like Mo Hakeem and Riley Payne causing those turnovers, and they haven't let they haven't let Red River score that many points, but it's just on the offensive side of the ball. They're just not able to really get anything going right now, and that drastically has to change.
You got to give some credit to the Riders as they're forcing a lot of those turnovers. They're not mental mistakes, shall we say, by the Deacons, but just really good defense for the Riders. And you got to think, if you're the Riders head coach, Coach Ripplinger, that you're really happy with this start and telling your team, continue putting that pressure on as the Deacons are struggling to keep control of that basketball.
Definitely. There's not a whole lot Red River has to change right now if they want to keep being successful in this game, because for them, like you said, they've been playing great on both sides of the ball. And, I mean, they just really, like, for them, it's really clicking right now, and they got a lot of momentum and energy, and as it shows by the way they're playing out on the court.
We'll see if the Deacons can come out of this time and kind of flip some of that momentum in their favor. Almost stolen there by the Riders, but Hodel able to get a sneaky pass. Leads to a Payne three-point attempt, which is good, cutting the deficit to 4 points for the Deacons. And now if you're Coach Jacobson, this is where you're telling team to get low and get a stop here, as they are, looks like they're going to be able to do so as the ball is saved by Riley Payne. A nice athletic play there by Payne. Payne finds Hodel in front of the Riders bench. Drives baseline, finds Dabbert in the corner, kicks it to Payne for a three-point attempt from the same spot, but that almost misses everything as it just gets a little bit of the rim. Deacons able to get the rebound. Dabbert trying to drive baseline, finds an open Hakim. And if Hakim would have looked, she had an open Emily Strema on the other side of the block, but instead it will be a jump ball with possession going to the Riders. You know, sometimes it's those plays, sometimes it's those plays where you don't see that extra pass that could get you an open layup, and you got to convert on some of those.
Definitely. That's tough to see because, we're seeing Shanley get a little bit more momentum on the offensive side of the ball, but yeah, it went all the way when Hakeem missed that. When she didn't see Emily Strema wide open, she missed that layup.
Back out to Leach. Kicks it over to Schiller. Schiller picking up her dribble, kicks it to Page in the corner. Back to Schiller. Almost a turnover by Sandra. She's just able to keep control of that ball. Clock shot winds down. It looks like they're not going to get the basket to go as Payne brings the ball up the floor for Shanley. Ball tipped there by Schiller, that she was trying to save it. They are going to call her out of bounds. Fosse and Azure now checking back in for the Riders, as well as Lancaster as a late substitution. And you got to think that the Riders are missing out on Shelby Frank, the D1 commit for track, a little bit with her athleticism inside.
Yeah, especially with kind of we were talking about how Shanley's been able to force so many turnovers. Yeah, a player with great athleticism like she does, it'd be nice to see her on the offensive side of the ball for Red River.
Also a threat inside with having a few blocks early in tonight's matchup. Leach able to get the ball across the floor for the Riders. Fosse setting up the offense. Looking for someone to pass to. Finds Leach right down to Azure down low. Going to work on Strema, but Strema delivers a block of her own, which results in the turnover to the Deacons. Looks like Payne dribbled that off the shoe of Fosse, causing her to fall. So it will be Payne inbounding the ball for the Deacons. 25 seconds left on the shot clock. Dabbert finds Hakeem down low, not able to hold on to the ball, but we will have a foul on the play. Not sure who they're going to get, as it probably could go either way. Shanley fans smiling as it was called on the Riders, but I think they have an argument, the Riders fans, that could have been either way. I would have liked to see a jump ball or a no call there. So that foul will be on 50, Jade Azure. That's another thing to pay attention to, is now both Frank and Azure have 2 fouls. It's not halftime yet. You got to think that's going to play a role in how Coach Ripplinger plays this last 50 seconds.
Yeah, that's tough to hear with you wouldn't really want to mess up anything that Red River has going right now. You don't really want to take out any gears in the little machine they got going here. So yeah, that would be very hard for Red River to lose them in possibly in the second half.
And that three-point make is going to help them do just that. But there will be another foul called on Azure, as it looks like Lancaster is about to check in for Azure. Excuse me, that looks like it was going to be Linseth checking in for the Azure, but before she's able to do that, Azure picks up that third foul call. First attempt from Dabbert is up and perfect. Second attempt from Dabbert. Up and good. The lead is now only 5 for the Riders, as the shot clock and play clock are about the same. Almost a turnover there, but they are able to keep a hold of that. Deacons doing a nice job of not allowing an easy shot, as I kind of jinxed them with Leach getting an open three-point attempt there, extending the lead to 8 right before the half. Leach closely guarding Mattern as she dribbles the ball across the floor. Back to Mattern down low. Goes for the right-handed layup, not able to get it, as that will close out the first half. With the Riders going on a little bit of a hot streak, definitely have a lot of momentum going into halftime. If you're the Red River Roughrider head coach, what are you telling your team during halftime?
I mean, if I'm the Red River head coach, I'm definitely telling them, keep up the momentum on defense and keep working and stay scrappy a little bit on the defensive side of the ball, and you'll be fine. Offensively, maybe. I mean, for both teams, really, they've kind of they've had some struggles on the offensive side of the ball with, I mean, both teams, they've had great defense tonight. But, yeah, I think Red River, they just kind of got to get things going, trying to find a way through that Shanley defense on the offensive side for them. And same thing for Shanley. They just got to find a way through that Red River defense and get more points on the board.
Yeah, you know the coaching staff and Coach Jacobson will figure out what they need to change, as they have been a very successful program over the last couple years. Andy, any final remarks before we send it away to halftime?
I'm ready for the next half.
I'm ready for a great second half of basketball, which will be about 9 minutes away. So, folks, make sure you stay tuned for the second half of EDC Girls Basketball on Shanley TV. And as we get back into action here, we would like to mention that Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at shanleyathleticclub.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, make sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you're not one already. It's easy to become a member and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club taking Deacon Athletics to a higher level. And so now as we start the second half here, Andy, made basket there by the Deacons. That's exactly what they need to do coming out of the half, don't they?
That was, yeah, like you said, that was huge. As we were saying, going into the end of this first half, Shanley, they need to find a way to get through this Red River defense, and that was big to kind of show that we know how to play offense now, and we know how to put points on the board this half.
And the Riders did have to call a timeout there as they almost turned the ball over. So it looks like it will be a 30-second timeout, so just a short one. Only about 30 seconds in to the second half. And if you're Coach Ripplinger, you can't be too happy calling a timeout 30 seconds into the game.
No, I mean, he would have definitely liked to see his team come out with a little more stability on the offensive side and not almost turn the ball over there. But, I mean, it is what it is, and all I can do is move forward.
It looks like we do have our first shout-out of the game, and unfortunately it will be my sister. I shouldn't say unfortunately. Fortunately, it will be my sister, Hannah Altringer. So thanks for tuning in, and make sure to get into touch or into contact with us on our social media platforms so we can go ahead and give you a shout-out. So it will be a shot clock violation there on the Riders, so it will be a turnover to the Deacons. Payne to Manuel. Manuel right back to Payne as she drives up the sideline. Mattern in the corner, kicks it over to an open Manuel. It looks like it's going to be a long two with a foot on the line. Cutting into that deficit even more as it is now just 4 points. Jump ball here will be called by the officials, so it will stay with the Riders. Page with the three-point basket, up and perfect. You got to be happy if you're a Riders fan there. Kind of settling what seemed to be some momentum for the Deacons.
Yeah, definitely. That's a big play to respond to Shanley as they were kind of starting to come out with more momentum on the offensive side.
Foul called on the play there, which will send Mattern to the line. That will be called on Shelby Frank, which will be her third. So we got to really watch out for Frank now and Azure, as both of them have 3 fouls.
Yeah, as this game's getting closer and closer, we definitely don't want to see any players get out of the game due to foul trouble.
Mattern, after her first attempt, was good. Second attempt is up and also good. Cuts the deficit 2-5 for the Lady Deacons. Fossey now bringing the ball up the floor. Screen there set by Frank. Bounce pass into the corner to Page. Stolen there by Manuel, as Payne is leading and putting some pressure on the Riders' defense. But Fossey able to force a turnover, and that fast leash now gets out in transition. And that's kind of her bread and butter right there. Get the turnover ball and then go run as fast as you can and go put up that easy layup.
Yeah, as we stress momentum and tempo so much this game, Claire Leach, she always seems to be the one who we see sprinting down the court looking to make that big play.
Hakim is not able to convert on that 2-point basket after a nice pass by Payne with a 3-point shot by Page is able to go in. Her second in the last 2 possessions, giving them I believe their largest lead of the game at 10 points. And it looks like right back to her bread and butter is Leash going for a nice easy layup attempt, but not able to get it. And then Payne with a big block underneath as Fossey tried to go up with the rebound.
Yeah, both teams here, they're kind of starting to come out with a little more power on offense, but it just seems like Red River, they have a little more power on offense than the Deacons do, as they've jumped out to a 10-point lead here pretty quick in the second half.
And it looks like we do have our second shout out of the game from Minnesota, Ashley Mickelson. It looks like they're cheering on Riley Payne. Thank you for getting in contact with us, Ashley Mickelson. Another turnover for the Deacons results in a fast break. Right back to Leash, their bread and butter again, as I keep saying that, as it seems like she's always the one out in transition. Open basket is not good by Sandro, as the referee will call out of bounds, as it looks like it almost went over the backboard. Must have hit the antenna as it is moving around a little bit. Rider coaches not happy as they think it needs to go over the backboard. Looks like the refs aren't going to give them an explanation, but they are going to meet together. We'll see what they decide here with about 15:30 remaining in the game. You know, I didn't really see anything there to call it out of bounds, so we'll see if the referees change this one in favor of the Riders. As this is quite a lengthy talk here, I'm guessing they're going to say it's Rider ball. But they will call a jump ball, as Steve Jacobson, coach of the Deacons, is at half court, way out of his coach's box. We'll see if he gets teed up for that. You can definitely see why he's not happy, as they called it one way and then totally switched it as the Rider bench was complaining. Fossey now throwing the ball in for the Riders. Finds Leach in the corner, kicks it to Page up top. Page driving left. 2-point basket, no good. Looks like it's going to miss everything, with the rebound coming down to the Lady Deacons. Hakeem to Dabber for an open three. Made a couple in the first half and is able to connect, which is a huge shot there to boost the confidence of Dabber and the whole Deacons team. You know, it's really important for the Deacons to connect, as we see a foul on the play there by Manuel, but it's really important for Deacons and the Riders, I shall say, to connect on those open baskets, shouldn't you say?
Definitely. I mean, and we've seen a lot of moments tonight in this game where both teams, they've had it like an almost wide open layup or just nice little jumper, and they haven't been able to make it. So, I mean, it would be interesting to see what the score would be if they had made all those earlier.
Definitely think we would be in that 54 to 47 range. Is probably about 10 points for each team would be good. As Dabber connects on it, looks like they're going to say a long two, but still gets some momentum and some energy back into the gym for the Lady Deacons. 5-point game here from McCormick Gymnasium. As the Riders thought Sandra was going to shoot that open. Page will shoot that in the corner, though. She's been hot, but not able to get that one to go, as the Deacons push out in transition. Looks like Madden got away with a travel there. She took about 4 steps, but not able to convert. So no harm to the Riders. Fossey just able to get it across the floor to avoid that 10-second violation, as Frank almost makes her presence known with that 2-point basket. But the ball will stay with the Riders as it goes off the hands of Hakim. Looks like Lancaster, Schiller, and Azure will check back in for the Riders, giving a break for Frank, Page, and Fossey. You know, you probably will think that might be their last break, and then they might be in for the rest of the game.
Definitely, as the Deacons are kind of cutting down this lead here at only 5 points. I mean, we could see maybe a 2 or 3 point game in the last couple of minutes here, and excuse me, Red River, they're going to want their best players out on the court for those last few minutes.
As Payne was going up for the 2-point attempt, they're going to get a block call on Azure, which will be her 4th already in this game with 14 minutes left. Not a good sign if you're a Riders fan. It looks like 23, Linseth, will check in for Azure. Mattern missed an open Manuel there, decides to drive in, gets the 2-point basket to go, pays off not passing it to Manuel. Mattern will head to the line for the 3-point play. And that will be on 23, Linseth. That'll be her first personal, but 3rd team foul on the Riders this half. To convert the 3-point lay is Mattern, and she is able to do so, cutting the deficit to 2 for the Deacons.
Yeah, this is exactly the energy and pace the Deacons are looking for going into the end of the first half. As right now, they're able to put up points and they're able to find their way through that Red River defense.
Absolutely, and the home crowd is backing their team in support, as we will have a tough play there on both teams there, as we hope both players okay, as Leach took a hard fall, but it will be called a jump ball, so the ball will go over to the Deacons. Riders applying their man-to-man press. And we would like to thank again Shanley Shack for always supporting us in what we do. And also another shout out from my family, as my mom Connie Altringer gives us another shout out. Thanks, Mom, and my sister Hannah for supporting. Looks like we're going to kick ball before the Riders are able to get control of it. So it will stay with the Deacons. A little bit of a break there for the Deacons. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Deacons passing around top of the key. Find Hakeem. Back out to Mattern. Just a little too long of a pass as it goes off the fingertips of Mattern and out of bounds. Sandro now throwing the ball in for the Riders on the near side. Schiller getting a screen from Lancaster. And another high pass, but that one stays in bounds and goes over to the Deacons. You know, it's not common we see some high passes on back-to-back possessions. That just gives another credit to the defense both teams are playing right now.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple times on both teams here as they've kind of maybe gotten a little too excited or whatever, and they've just thrown the ball too high over their other player's head.
There will be a foul on the play, but not to worry for Riders fans as it's only the first on Sandro, but fourth team foul on the Riders, so we'll have to see if that has an effect in this game. Quick pass to Manuel, tough three-point attempt and misses everything as Fossey was right in her face. Riders doing a great job on the defensive end in the last minute or so, making sure the Deacons don't cut into this deficit anymore. As the Deacons do force another turnover, and they are able to tie it or take the lead. Manuel in the corner. Back, throws it right out of bounds to Coach Jacobson, who's actually not playing for them this evening. And we do have another shout out to Mrs. Miller, one of the teachers here at Shanley High. Mrs. Miller, thank you for tuning in to Shanley TV. Schiller, ball down to the corner for Sandra, who gives it right back to Schiller. Some more of this passing we saw in the first half by the Roughriders, swinging and getting those open shots. See if they can find another one here. Open three-point attempt for Lancaster, just short with the rebound coming down to Shrema, and yet another foul on the Riders, which will cause them to go to 5 fouls in this half. You got to think if you're the Riders faithful, you're starting to get a little worried about foul trouble with Azure having 4, Frank having 3, and then also 5 team fouls in the second half.
Yeah, with this only 2-point lead by the Roughriders here, those fouls, they can really be detrimental to your lead, as you could give the Deacons a couple easy opportunities to score.
And now it's not Leach, but Schiller with the open 2-point attempt, finally getting the Riders back in the scoring column after a little bit of a drought. Just saved there by Hodel. Nice pass from Shrema to Dabbert, but not able to connect.
It's tough to see on the Deacon side of things as they've had, I believe, 4 or 5 opportunities here to score with only being down 2 points earlier and now being down 4 points, and they just haven't been able to put the ball in the hoop. And they've had a couple opportunities there to put one in, but it just hasn't been able to go in for them.
Payne back into the game for the Deacons, taking out Hannah Hodel. Lancaster immediately guarded by Manuel, right back to Page. Schiller up top, over to Fossey. Lancaster down, nice pass to Frank. Not able to get it to go though, as she was just short on the layup. Stolen ball there from Schiller, yet another turnover for the Deacons. Quick passing there from the Riders. Gets a shot attempt down low, and we are gonna have a late foul called on that last play. So it will send Frank to the line for 2 shots. Mattern's first personal foul of the game, second on the Deacons in the second half. First attempt is up and rattles in. Second attempt is up and good, with the Riders almost getting another turnover there, but Payne just able to hold on to the ball. Dabbert's 3-point attempt is long. Riders trying to push this lead out to, looks like it's going to be 8 if they're able to connect. Pass inside to Frank, open layup, able to get it to go, extends lead back out to 8 for the Deacons. Right when you think it's going to be a tie game again, Riders able to take control.
Yeah, they kind of snuck away with a couple points here as Deacons will turn the ball over here again and get it right back. But yeah, I mean, kind of going back to what I just said earlier, the Deacons, they just haven't been able to get a lot going on offense, as we see another missed layup there, but a rebound by Riley Payne.
And finally able to get to go there. A little bit of help from Andy maybe.
As I speak it, I will speak it into existence. But yeah, I mean, we just kind of, it's been little plays, like little free throws here and there and just little layups that kind of snuck by us and gave them this lead here.
Looks like it will stay with the Riders, but from our vantage point, it looked like it did go off Schiller. But they will say it was tipped by Manuel. Checking into the game is McKenna Bars. First appearance of the night for her. Attempt from Lancaster from deep range is no good. Rebound coming down to Payne. Emily Schramer with a 2-point attempt. Not able to connect, but will be sent to the line for 2 shots. Foul on the play will be the second on Alex Page. 6th foul on the Riders this half. So the next foul on the Riders will send the Deacons into the bonus. And we still have 10 minutes to play. So we'll have to see if that plays a factor for the Deacons. First one rattles around and in. To complete the set from the line. And it's good. Deficit now 4 for the Deacons.
Yeah, kind of going back to the bonus here. The Deacons, they've been pretty consistent at the charity stripe so far. They've been able to make a lot of their free throws, and that could be big as if they do get into the bonus, if Red River gives them just easy opportunities to score there and if they can put it in, that could be big and kind of coming back in this little 4-point deficit.
Tipped pass there by McKenna Bars, and that's one of the key reasons why she's in, is because she's one of the best defenders that Shanley has. So we'll see if she's able to force a couple turnovers and able to get the Deacons some easy shots. Looks like Manuel is going to check back into the game for the Deacons, taking out her counterpart, Dabbert. Page looking to drive, finds Fossey. Tipped pass there by Mattern, which will sail out of bounds. And the shot clock did not reset there, so there will be 9 seconds left for the Riders to get a shot off. Now 5 seconds left as they are going to have to force one, it appears, but able to get an open layup attempt. Great passing there by Frank. Payne closed off there by Roughriders. Tipped pass out of bounds, which will stay with the Deacons. Those last couple possessions created a lot of energy in the gym. You might not be able to feel it at home, but you can kind of feel some energy being formed here in McCormick Gymnasium.
Yeah, especially after that clutch little quick layup as the shot clock expired for Red River. That was huge and kind of really bringing up the energy in both the crowd and the players on the court.
Riders sitting in their 2-3 zone. Mattern throws it right into the hands of Fossey. Almost stolen there by Bars. Shot is able to go for the Riders, extending their lead back out to 8. Mattern gets Page in the air, drives past, but gets met by Frank there. Rebound comes down to Emily Schramer, puts up the rebound, not able to get it to go, but again, she will be sent to the line for a pair. So again, another thing to watch here, and the Riders definitely have to be getting a little frightened, is that it's now the 4th foul on Shelby Frank. So both Azure and Frank with 4 fouls. You know, losing Frank would definitely be quite a loss for the Riders, as she is definitely a force down low, but she's also scored quite a bit on the offensive end. Quite a few checking in for both teams there, as Shrema is waiting to shoot her second attempt. The second attempt is just short, with the rebound almost coming down to Manuel, but Azure able to hold on to it. 7-point lead here for the Riders with just a little over 8 minutes left in tonight's EDC girls basketball matchup. Nice pass there to Paige down low, but not able to get it to go, as they are going to call that off. Hakim trying to go for the Deacon rebound.
I think the Deacons on the defensive side, they're going to they're going to have to start stepping up and making some more turnovers like they were at the beginning of the half, because they're giving the Roughriders a lot of opportunities to score here, and luckily they haven't been able to capitalize on all of them.
Again, you're speaking it into existence as the Deacons get a turnover, but then turn it right back over to the Riders. And then another turnover, so we just have quite a few turnovers going on. We'll see if Bars is, and that is swatted with authority out of bounds by 50 Azure. You can kind of see that one coming as Azure trailing, just waiting to get that ball in the air, and she swats it right into the wall. So another Deacon that doesn't get a lot of playing time, but most likely into this game with the injuries to Busick and Huber, is 34, Mariah Bird. Bird to Bars. Almost a turnover there, as the Rider Faithful is cheering their team on to get a stop here. Just past the outreached arms of Bird. Bird had some really good position there, but at the last minute, Payne just throws it a little too far away, and it will be a turnover to the Riders. Sandro down to Page, and another turnover, so we have about 2 or 3 possessions now in a row for each team that they have turned it over to the opposing team. Nice floater there from Payne as she hits nothing but net, cutting the deficit 2-5. And you got to think, if you're the Deacons, there's still 7 minutes left, but they got to make a run soon, because if the Riders make one more run, it could be a blowout pretty soon.
Definitely. I mean, as we see there, the momentum just stays in the Roughriders' favor, and Shanley, they got to get something going pretty quick here on the offensive side of the ball, as they almost turn it over there. But, I mean, you could easily see things starting to slip away here as the energy just stays in Red River's favor, and they're able to keep making plays and making statements.
Payne's shot attempt is not good, but is able to get the putback, not able to get it to go, but Hakim is able to get it to go. So it will be interesting. Deacons definitely have the assets to make a quick run here and even get their lead of their own up to 10, but we'll see if they're able to do so with a couple key players out of tonight's matchup. Good defense there by Bars, but they will call her for a foul. Looks like they're going to call her for a block. Back into the game is Schiller and Lancaster. And that is McKenna Barr's first personal foul. Third team foul on the Deacons, so nothing to worry about there quite yet. Looks like that they are going to say that was off of Lancaster, so it will turn over to the Deacons. And if you are the Deacons, Andy, you have to use this possession, don't you?
For sure. I mean, with only 6 minutes left, you definitely got to score here. You got to get as much energy as fast as possible as they turn the ball over. Maybe they can make a defensive stop here.
Looks like it is going to go off of Leach. The refs are going to confer and say it did go off Leach. So it will be Deacons' ball.
Wow.
And I'm not sure if you guys heard that, but Shanley Deacons girls basketball do have an assist of the game and a pizza, and that did go to our staff at Shanley TV. So we do want to thank the parents of Shanley girls basketball. Payne finds Bird, makes a move, right-handed layup is good, gets her 2 points for the Deacons.
It's good to see a player like Mariah Bird, who hasn't had that many varsity minutes so far this year, come in and step up when they really need her, being down, well, they were down 7. No, 6.
6, yep.
6. But it's good to see her come in and be able to make plays and give a little energy, or as much as she can.
That sure boosts a lot of confidence, especially if she's needed later down in bigger minutes in postseason play, as Leach gets the 3-point basket to go, extending lead to 7. 3-point attempt is not going to go up by Payne as she pump fakes and tries to drive baseline. 2-point basket goes up, but not good, as the rebound comes down to the Riders with just over 5 minutes remaining in the game. Schiller to Sandro, over to, looks like that's going to be Lancaster in the corner for the 3-point attempt. Not good, as Bird comes down with the rebound. Hakim dribbling the ball up the court, makes a spin move, and gets the foul called. You know, it's not common that we see bigs drive that hard, but Hakeem is sensing a little bit of urge, I should say. She's needs to kind of score here for the Deacons to cut back into the deficit.
Yeah, and she got in a little bit of a rhythm there as we saw her kind of spin around a few defenders and make her way to the hoop.
That will be the first foul on Lancaster, so nothing to worry about for her. But in just 2 fouls, Deacons are going to be in the double bonus the remainder of the game. So Fossey and Frank back into the game for the Roughriders. Second attempt from Hakim is perfect, as Dabbert will now check in for Hakim. We are going to have a timeout on the floor. Not sure who called that, but it appears it's going to be a Deacons timeout called by Coach Jacobson. It's going to be a full timeout. And if you're Coach Jacobson, what are you telling your team with about 5 minutes left, down 6?
If I'm Coach Jacobson, I'm just telling them that it's crunch time, and there's not a whole lot he can say besides, this is the time where you got to show up. You got to come up clutch. Down 6 with just under 5 minutes left. This is the time for our players to show up and make plays and give our team as much energy as we can and kind of go on a little bit of an offensive run here, as they really need some offense to generate here.
And as we see on the replay there, a little bit of offense generated by Hakim to Dabbert with an open 3-point attempt. And here we'll see her long 2 points, so that will equal 5 points. She's put up a quiet large amount of points, which is very helpful for the Deacons tonight. Now as both teams are about to break their huddle, we will see if the Roughriders are able to hold on to their lead or if the Deacons can cut back into it and maybe take one of their own. So it will be Riders' ball underneath the Deacons' hoop. It'll be Schiller taking the ball up the floor for the Riders. Guarded closely by Bars. In front of the bench is Sandro with the ball. Looking for someone to pass to and finds Fossey up top. Finds an open Schiller. Drives into the lane. Can't quite control the ball, so doesn't get a shot attempt off there. Open 3-point for Fossey. Not able to get it to go, but rebound to Frank. They're going to call a foul there on Payne, sending Frank to the line for 2 shots. And now if you're the Red River Roughriders, there's still a lot of time left, but you got to make your free throws. You really got to key into the fundamentals and knock them down.
For sure, you definitely want to keep your foot on the pedal as hard as you can push it right now, because now would definitely not be the time to kind of slip back and let the Deacons go on a little bit of a run. You got to stay locked in and stay working hard.
This is where it comes to those long practices in the gym, the off season, as Frank is unable to convert on the first attempt. Second from the line is also no good. And it looks like it'll be tipped off Lancaster, so it will be Shanley ball. Looks like we are going to have a bench warning or a team warning, I shall say, on Coach Jacobson of the Deacons, who did not agree with the call there. Looks like one of the officials is kind of explaining the call. Not sure if he's happy with what he heard, but he'll accept it, and it'll be Deacons ball. Payne driving sideline. Almost stolen there by Lancaster. Open Dabbert near side, or far side, I shall say. And another block there by Frank. With those 4 fouls, still not afraid to get in defender's face and reject those shots. Still playing with 4 fouls and still playing tough D. That just shows the experience that Frank has underneath. How important it is for either team, I should say, EDC teams in general, to have that senior experience and have those, senior leaders on their team.
It can be crucial because, especially in closer games like this, you need someone to kind of step up and lead an example for the rest of the underclassmen and even the other seniors. Because as we kind of see on Shanley's side with the energy lacking a little bit, it's also good to see someone kind of provide a little bit of that energy with that strong defense as we saw down low.
So just over 4 minutes remaining in the matchup. The Red River Roughriders are leading by 6 points. Any final remarks for these last 4 minutes, as I'm sure they're going to be a roller coaster?
Don't really have a whole lot to say. I'm just interested to see what will happen here.
Guess we'll watch and see what the ending entails for us. We always hope that it's a good game, so hopefully the Deacons are able to cut back the deficit and make it go to the final seconds of the second half. So now as both teams are coming out of the timeout break, it'll be Riders ball on the near side. It'll be Sandro throwing the ball in for the Deacons. Or for the Riders, excuse me. Guard closely there is Fossey by Payne. Almost a turnover there on the Riders, as it looks like it will be a turnover as the ball is stolen by Manuel. 2-on-1 for the Deacons as McKenna Bars tries to take it out. Looks like they are going to get a foul called there on Shelby Frank, which will be her 5th of the game, ending her night here in Fargo. You know, you hate to see that if you're a Riders fan, but if you're a Deacons fan, you're loving to see that because she's been a problem down low and not allowing the Deacons get any open layups.
Yeah, it'll be kind of interesting to see how Red River will adjust to that, if someone will be able to step up for them and be able to stop those layups.
You got to think it's going to be Azure stepping up, but again, she has 4 fouls too, so if she makes one mistake, she could be sitting down for the remainder of the game. First attempt from Dabbert from the line is no good. To go 1 of 2 from the line is Dabbert. Shots up. And no good as it rattles in and out with the rebound coming down to Azure. Bars guarding Schiller closely. Almost a foul call, and it looks like they will get a foul call as Bars was just a little too aggressive there. And that'll be Bars' 2nd foul of the game. Throwing the ball in for the Riders will be Sandro. Schiller driving left side, gets shut there by Manuel. Almost a steal there by McKenna Bears. Azure down low for the 2-point basket, able to get it to go, extending the lead out to 8 for the Riders. Quick pass to Dabber in transition. Will take the 2-point attempt. Not able to get it to go, but Mariah Bird in good position as she gets blocked there. It looks like they are going to get a foul on the play. We'll have to see who that's on. As if it's on Azure, it'll be her last one, but it will not be, as they call that on 10, Sandro. Deacons now in the double bonus, which will be for the remainder of the game, as she does get the first attempt to go from the line. Second attempt to complete the pair is good and perfect. Leach back into the game for the Riders. Schiller bringing the ball up the floor for the Riders with just over 3 minutes remaining in the game. They're going to get another foul called on McKenna Bear, so that'll be her 3rd foul up top, playing tightly guarded defense. So the next foul on the Deacons, which will result in the Riders being in the bonus. Schiller driving on Bears. Dabbert guarding Sandro. And they are going to call a foul on the play, which will be on 50 Azure, which will foul her out of the game as well. So it'll be 2 players now and 2 key players for the Riders sitting on the bench. If you're the Deacons, you got to think that Coach Jacobson is telling them to attack down low right away.
Oh, for sure. This is definitely a prime opportunity for the Deacons to drive down low, especially with players like Mo Hakeem, and go up strong and try to make those layups, as they lost their 2, as Red Rivers lost their 2 best defenders down in the paint.
Shanley faithful trying to get their team to maybe get on a little bit of a run here with 2 players now out for the Riders. 2-point floater for Payne is up and rattles around and good. And that's exactly what you want if you're the Shanley Deacons.
Yeah, down only by 4 points with just 2.5 minutes left in this game. This is definitely a winnable game for them.
Trying to find a lane is Leach, who almost turns it over, but just able to get it to Schiller, who again almost turns it over. 3-point attempt from Paige, up and no good, as she's been the hot hand for the Riders. And it looks like they will get a foul called on the play. Looks like that is going to be on 31, Mo Hakim. That'll be her second of the game.
Yeah, that was a hard play for Hakeem to make. She kind of stumbled a little bit, and she had to get up. She had to stand up really fast and try and make a defensive play. So that was hard to not foul in that situation.
So both teams now in the bonus, but Shanley in the double bonus. So a little bit advantage there if there will be a foul in the future. So we have a timeout on the floor, timeout Red River, which will be a full timeout. And why do you think Coach Ripplinger called that timeout? Do you think he just wanted to put in his last words before this 2 minutes, or just settle his team down as the Deacons are on a little bit of a scoring run?
I think he called that kind of for a little bit of both to have a couple more things to say, and then at the same time, like you said, slow down Shanley. As we could see them sort of gaining momentum here as they're able to score points and they're able to make stops on defense.
Yeah, I think Olivia Frazee, one of the assistant coaches for the Riders, might have a little bit of say here. She used to play in the Deacons system a number of years ago and later went on to UND to play college volleyball there. So it looks like both teams are almost ready, as I guess the Deacons are ready to break their huddle, as the Riders will follow shortly after. So it will be Deacons ball underneath the Riders hoop. Payne will be throwing the ball in for the Deacons. Easy pass in to Hakim, who gives it to Manuel, who almost travels there, but gives it off to McKenna Bears. Payne into the corner for Manuel. Open three-point attempt. Takes it. Not able to go, as it's just long. Schiller beating this press for the Riders. Gets it up to an open Leach, who turns it right over to McKenna Bars and the Deacons. Payne driving on the Riders. Gives a little Euro step there and gets a 2-point basket to go. 4-point lead only for the Riders with just under 2 minutes remaining in tonight's matchup. And boy, Andy, are we in for an exciting last 1:30 as both faithfuls for both teams are getting into the game now. Outlet pass will be tipped out of bounds by Schiller, just in front of Coach Jacobson of the Deacons, so it will stay Deacon ball. Fossey back into the game for the Riders. You know, you got to think they took Schiller out because Schiller is one of the younger players on the team, only being in 8th grade. So I'm guessing that has a fact to do with it, that maybe they want a little bit more experience on the floor for the last 1:30. Tipped pass there, stolen by Leach.
For being as young as she is, Schiller, she's done a great job this game tonight. I mean, she's been a dominant presence in offense. She's remained calm. She's made great plays. She's moved the ball around and been able to make shots. So it'll be interesting to see how she kind of develops in basketball later in her high school years.
Tipped pass there off of Red River, so it will stay with Deacons with 8 seconds left on the shot clock. We'll see if they notice that and get a shot off before the time expires. Driving right is Bars. Not able to get the shot to go, but Hakim with the rebound puts it up for 2 points, cutting the deficit to 2 for the Deacons. And, you know, when we were talking about this game before, Andy, we knew that it was going to be a great game, one of the best games that Deacons and Red River will play in some years. But did you expect it to be this good of a game coming down to the wire?
I mean, kind of in the back of my head, I kind of thought, you know, we might have one of those thrillers in the last few minutes of the game here. But I don't think I expected it to be quite as exciting as it is so far with a minute left and only a 2-point lead for the Roughriders. Both teams, well, Shanley in the double bonus and Red River in the single bonus, but I'm just excited for this last minute of play here to see what happens and obviously who will win.
And folks, make sure that if anyone you know wants to watch, make sure they get on for the last minute as we have an exciting 101 left here from McCormick Gymnasium. Each team has 1 timeout left, so I'm guessing the coaches will be telling their players that if they get in a position where they want to call a timeout, that they only have 1. So be smart about when they choose to call that. As both teams break their timeout huddle, it will be Riders ball on the far side. Looks like Fossey will bring the ball up the floor. And it looks like Manuel is going to guard her. Screen there. Gets Fossey an open layup. Able to get it to go. Extending the lead back out to 4 for the Riders.
Nice play by Fossey there to make that layup with 3 Deacon defenders around her.
Not what you wanted there if you're a Rider fan, with a foul being called. So that's going to be called on Fossey. Only her first of the game. Nothing to worry about there, but something to worry about as the Deacons can get 2 points with the time stopped. Mariah Bird's first attempt up and no good. So we'll see if pressure gets to her. This might be her first biggest varsity minutes here on the basketball floor, but she was a very outstanding athlete on the volleyball floor. So we'll see if she's able to use some of that pressure in this game tonight. Stolen there by Riley Payne. Gets it blocked. McKenna Bars gets the rebound right back to Payne in the corner. They're going to call a blocking foul as Rider fans wanted a charge. .33 seconds left, and Payne is sent to the line for the double bonus. First attempt is up and perfect. That last foul was on 20, Lancaster, only her second. To complete the pair from the line is Payne, and she does so. Mattern checking into the game for the Deacons, looks like it's going to bring Bars to the bench. So a little bit more experience now on the floor for the Deacons.
And we got a little bit of a shootout as Red River kind of pulled out to a 4-point lead, but then Shanley cut it right back down to a 2-point lead.
Open Lancaster underneath, not able to get it to go as the rebound does come down to Riley Payne. Has an open Manuel down low, see if she can convert. Able to get it to go as it almost hits every part of the rim. A little breathtaking for Shanley fans there, but 15 seconds left, and we have a tied game. Almost a carry there by the Riders, but 10 seconds left as they Deacons steal the ball, and a timeout will be called as Steve Jacobson running down the floor to get that timeout called. And boy, Andy, this game gets better and better each minute that passes.
I mean, Shanley, they picked up their energy right in the nick of time there with just around 30 seconds left. They were able to put up a nice wide open layup by Olivia Manuel there. And then Lydia Mattern on the other end was able to force a turnover and get the ball back in Shanley's hands.
Great plays by a couple of veteran leaders for the Deacons. And now we'll see if they put the ball back into the hands of Riley Payne, who last game for the Deacons had that buzzer beater to send the victory to the Deacons over the Mustangs. So we'll see what the Deacons decide to do here as there's 6 ticks remaining on the play clock. Deacons setting up in a 4-cross formation. Payne will be inbounding the ball for the Lady Deacons. Gives it right into Mattern. Mattern looking for someone. Takes an open lane. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. And it looks like we are going to be sent to overtime as she does not get it to go. As time expires, the ref says that she did not get the shot off, even though it did go in, so it will not count, and we will be sent to overtime. And boy, Andy, we couldn't have asked for anything else. This is exactly what you want if you're a broadcaster and a fan watching this game.
Of course, this is exactly what was kind of sitting in the back of my head earlier. We've seen a lot of games here in McCormick Gymnasium kind of go down to the last couple minutes, then go into overtime, and I wouldn't be surprised if the end of overtime was just like the end of regulation there. As it was kind of a shootout. Shanley and Red River, they were just going back and forth, so it'll be interesting to see how things play out here.
Deacons were able to gain some momentum ending that second half, so we'll see if they can carry that over into overtime or if the Riders can shut that down and get on a run of their own. So overtime will be about 4 minutes in length, which each team having 1 timeout. And since the Riders did have a timeout left, it looks like they will have 2. So I'm not quite sure if that's right, but that's what it does sit on the scoreboard. So we'll see if that plays a factor in the overtime. Andy, any remarks before we get into overtime? I'm just ready to watch this, aren't you?
I mean, for the 3rd time, I'm just excited to see how things play out. I don't have a whole lot to say right now.
Alrighty, and it's going to be Hakim. And it looks like Paige fighting for the jump ball here as we open up overtime. A little confusion here for the Riders as they're trying to get their players in position. But it looks like they finally found the formation they wanted to go with. So that tip is won by the Riders, so they will start with the ball, which is kind of big for the Deacons. The next jump ball will bring the ball back to the Deacons. Sandro up top to Linseth. Pass down low to Sandro. Nice play there out of the overtime break. 2-point lead for the Riders early in overtime. Ball almost stolen. Manuel finding someone to pass to and finds Payne. 2-3 zone here for the Riders as they do force a turnover and can extend the lead out to 4 or 5 with a made basket. Fossey setting up the offense for the Riders. Open shot attempt for Linseth. Gets a deflection is Hakeem on the play as Mattern drives down. Almost travels there. She just stops. Kick it over to Manuel for an open 3. Just short on the attempt. So it will be Rider ball with 3 minutes left. Can sense a little momentum shift here as the Riders are trying to get on a little bit of a run.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising. I mean, there wasn't that long a break between the end of the second half and overtime, but I mean, like you said, the momentum's starting to really shift in Red River's favor.
Looks like we did have a little announcer jinx there by Andy and myself, so it will be Deacons ball after the turnover. Mattern almost turns the ball over as a host of Riders are guarding her. Dabber almost shoots a 3-point attempt, pump fakes, drives, puts up the right-handed shot, and no good as the rebound comes down to Alex Page. 2-on-1 here for the Riders. Foul called on Manuel, which will send Sandro to the line for 2 shots.
Fouls on Shanley's number 14, Olivia Manuel, her 4th personal foul.
4th personal foul on Manuel. So that'll be something to look into if you are a Deacon fan. You know, at the beginning of this game, I thought the fouls were looking pretty clean, but now as we get to the end of overtime, I guess halfway through overtime, fouls are playing a big role in this game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, going towards halftime, there was only, I believe there was only like 4, maybe 5 fouls for both teams, but yeah, they really started to pick up in the second half, and now they're playing a big factor in this overtime.
Mattern drives down the lane, not able to get it to go with Hakim with the rebound. Easy putback, cutting the lead to 1 with 2:15 remaining in overtime. Sandro Ball has the ball in front of her coach, driving into the lane, gets met there by a tall Hakim, who's able to get the block, but can't control the ball as it goes off of her fingertips and out of bounds. Missed opportunity for the Deacons there.
Yeah, that's tough if you got to be Hakim right there. I mean, she made a great play on defense there, but just wasn't able to get the ball back in her reach.
So it'll be 30 seconds on the shot clock for the Riders as Fossey has it in the corner. Over to Leach, who tries to drive, gives it over right into the arms of Liz Dabbert as Payne now brings the ball across the half-court line for the Deacons. Looking for a shot attempt, puts up the 2-point basket, almost able to get it to go, but Payne able to get it back after steal. Dabbert driving, no foul called there, and it looks like it will be Riders ball. Little scrum on the floor, and we will have a jump ball, so it will stay with the Deacons with 1:35 left in overtime.
That's a nice play there by Hakim to kind of scramble to get the ball and cause a jump ball and keep the ball on the Deacon side of the offense.
Lancaster checking in for Linseth. Riders sitting in their 2-3 zone. See if Deacons can get a quick shot right into Hakim. Makes a nice right-hand move and gets the foul called, which will send her to the line for two attempts. That foul will be called on Sandro, her 3rd of the contest. We'll see if Hakim can put both of these shots in for the Deacons. First attempt is up and good. Takes off a little bit of pressure for that second attempt because now it's a tied game. So if you miss it, you're still tied and not losing. Second attempt is good and also perfect. Clutch free throws there by Hakim.
And a nice little reverse jinx on your part.
I'll take the credit when I can, Andy. Thank you. As Fossey now controls the ball for the Riders. Drives right hand, open lane. Not able to get it to go. No foul called there. And so it will go to Mattern and the Deacons. Tough screen there by Dabbert. Payne with an open three-point attempt. Can't get it to go, but rebound does come to Hakim. So Deacons can run some more time off the clock. Or get a quick shot if they so choose, which they do. And not able to get it to go is Payne. And we will have a foul on the play, which will send, I think it's Sandro or Lancaster line for the 1-and-1. That'll be the second personal foul called on Riley Payne this evening. And it looks like it will be Sandro going to the line for the 1-and-1. Little confusion there for the ref as he heard number 5 Riley Payne and thought it was 5 fouls, but rather it's number 5 Riley Payne. I can see how that could be confusing. You hear the 5, a lot of fans yelling.
Yeah, definitely, and you hear Shanley's coach yell, she's only got 2 fouls to kind of settle the tension a little bit between the ref there.
Good work by the official to go to the scorebook to see what the actual number was, as the first attempt is no good, so she will not be granted the second attempt. Manuel with the ball, needs to get it across half court to avoid a 10-second violation. And they will call a timeout. The Deacons will call the timeout with 50 seconds remaining. I believe that was a smart timeout call because Manuel looked like she didn't have a lot of options to pass to.
Yeah, definitely, and being up only 1 point with 50 seconds left, you definitely do not want to turn the ball over in this situation that you're in.
As the Deacon fans are telling Riley Payne to go get the ball, see if she can bring some of that magic back from the Cheyenne Mustang game just a few days ago. So 50 seconds left. If you're Coach Ripplinger and the Red River Roughriders, little struggle speaking here tonight, what are you telling your team? You got to be telling them not to foul, don't you?
Oh, for sure. I mean, Shanley, they've been very consistent tonight with the free throws, and the last thing you want to do is give them 2 more shots and allow them the allow them the opportunity to go up by 3 points with probably less than 50 seconds in. But yeah, I mean, you're definitely going to want to play a little cleaner, but at the same time, you don't want to let them score, obviously.
And we'll see if their defense can pull through like they did against Central in their last game. And in a span of that game, they held Central scoreless for about 10 minutes, winning that game 61-28. So we'll see if they can use some of that magic and some of the Deacons' magic for a great rest of this game. So make sure you stay tuned and get anyone else who wants to watch back to the computer as they're just about to get ball back into play. Payne inbounding the ball, easy pass to Manuel, right back to Payne. 2-3 zone for the Riders. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Dabbert finds Mattern. Mattern trying to drive baseline, can't find much, gives it to Payne, puts up one of her signature floaters, not able to get it to go, but gets the rebound. Outlet pass here to Leach, her bread and butter again, able to get it to go, giving the Riders the lead by 1 with 20 seconds left. And we'll see what the Deacons do here without a timeout. And they will call a foul, which will send Riley Payne to the line for 2 shots. You know, this could almost work in the Riders' favor, sending Payne to the line. She could make both, giving them the lead, but the Riders could get the ball back with plenty of time to get a good look. You got to think that's going to be tough with the excellent defense that Shanley is known for. Leading scorer in the EDC last year is not able to connect on the first attempt. And it looks like the Riders are going to try to ice Payne at the line as they call one of their timeouts. And it will be a full timeout by the Riders. As we see on the replay here, Hakim just not able to grab the ball, and it goes out of bounds. You probably could say that could have been a huge play and could have let the Deacons win that game in regulation.
Yeah, definitely. Could have given them a nice little 2-pointer to put them 2 points ahead, obviously, going into the end of the game. But, I mean, it is what it is. All you can do is move forward and try to make the next play.
Now looks like Coach Jacobson's getting a little animated in his huddle, telling his team to stand straight up and not foul if Payne is able to convert on the second attempt. It's almost got the energy of a postseason game in here. Both teams, Red River traveling well to Fargo on a Thursday evening. You couldn't ask for much more if you're a player on the floor right now.
Of course, this is an excellent competition, obviously, between these two very talented teams. But when you got your traveling crowd with you with the energy up as well, that just helps you play even better.
So we have a tied game now with 16 seconds left, and the Riders will be able to hold for the last shot for the win. Fossey gets it stolen by Payne. Payne near far side there, makes a move. Left-hand layup up and good with 4 seconds left. 3.8 seconds left on the clock as the Deacon fans are loving that made shot by Payne. Boy, what a change of events there, as we thought Red River was going to get the final shot. Yeah. But Payne gets the steal and makes the layup.
Not only by the teams, but the fans. It was in a span of like 10 seconds, I saw the Roughrider fans who were standing straight up all sit down, and at the same time, all the Shanley fans who are sitting down stand straight up.
A lot of disbelief over on the Riders side, as a couple fans are standing up in disbelief and awe. And over on the Shanley side, they're just thankful that one fell through and didn't roll off the rim. So it looks like they added a little bit of time left, about 2.3 seconds. So 5.1 remaining. Excuse me, they added 1.3, a little bit of math there. But 5.1 seconds remaining in overtime. We'll see if we go to another overtime, if the Deacons can prevail, or if the Riders can take the victory home in the first overtime with a 3-point shot. If you're a Rider, let's say you're in the position of the Riders right now, what are you doing? Are you going for the win or another overtime? Your personal preference.
If it was me, loving all the glory, all that, I'm going for the win.
You going for the win?
That's just me.
I like that. I'd probably go for the win too. You want to send it with a little bit of fashion, just like the Payne did for the Deacons against the Mustangs. You want to go home knowing that you won in overtime on a last-second shot. That gives a lot of confidence going into your next game, as both fans for both sides are on their feet. No foul called there. It looks like we are going to have a 3-point attempt by Paige, up and no good, as she misses everything, and the refs are going to say it did not get off. So if it went in, it would not have mattered, as the refs are running out of the gym. So Shanley Deacons will come away with the win, as the Riders coach is standing in disbelief. What do you take away from that final 5.1 seconds?
Still a little bit in
Still
shock.
A little bit of shock, right?
But I mean, that was just an interesting, I don't want to say anything too controversial here, but that was an interesting call by the ref there, as they said it didn't get off, but to me it looked like it got off, but she just missed it.
I sure thought she got it off, but they were making the signal like an incomplete pass almost, which would result in that not being good. But nonetheless, she did make it, so it ends up not mattering too much for the Riders. I'm pretty sure the coach wanted a foul call there, but I didn't see anything that could have.
Yeah, I saw a couple players on the Rough Rider bench kind of stand up or almost make the foul gesture, but no, that excuse me, it got off clean. But yeah, she just didn't make it, and the refs are saying she didn't get the shot off in time even. Great
win for the Deacons in EDC basketball matchup, which gives them another tally in that win column in EDC, which is not going to be easy this year for any team. So that's very good to get a win at home and against a really good team. Any final remarks from you, Andy?
I mean, going forward, both teams tonight, they did an excellent job of maintaining energy when they needed the energy, and I mean, that's all you really need to win a basketball game in excuse me, in EDC basketball. So I mean, going forward, if both these teams can maintain some of the energy that they had tonight, I think they'll be very successful going forward. Yeah, both teams are going to have a lot of success going forward, but definitely a confidence booster for the Deacons, but nothing to hang your heads if you're the Rider fans. Oh yeah, they played a great game. I mean, they competed, they did almost everything they could, and yeah, I wouldn't say that's anything to be too disappointed about. Not at all, especially coming into an opposing gym. And we do want to apologize one last time for our technical difficulties we experienced in the first half. We are glad we were able to get that second half in great overtime to you from McCormick Gymnasium. For Andy Simon and the entire crew, I'm Brandon Altringer. Shanley Deacons 73, Red River 71. To watch the archive version of this entire game and our other broadcasts, go to shanleytv.com.
The proceeding has been a presentation of Shanley TV.
Skol Vikes.